Howdy. You're supposed to say howdy back if you're an Aggie or want to be an Aggie. So when I say howdy, that's how we do it down there. Howdy. Sounds like y'all ready to go to Harrah's or to Bourbon Street. So we're going to have some fun. I'll be all over the page. I have my two assistants going to be doing a lot of this because you'll get tired of me and they're a lot smarter than me. But we're going to have fun with inbounds plays, sideline plays, and winning plays. Because I believe a coach, if you're not worth 6 points a ball game, then you better start looking over your shoulder because those ADs are going to be coming after you. But you as a coach, are you worth 6 points every ball game? And when do you use those 6 points? Are you ready to use them at the first of the game, which you just learned in the clinic, or you're saving them for a last-second situation? Is your team that disciplined? Can you make a play at the end of the game without calling a timeout that your team is so disciplined that they can go down and execute like we did to win the national championship game? If you remember when we played Stanford in the semifinals, they shot a free throw, made the free throw. We went down. I had one timeout to give. Sidney Colson had driven down the court, went by two people, went down and made the simple pass. Tyra White put it up and scored with 2 seconds to go in the ball game. And it was just a simple play that we had practiced, and she made the right decision. If you remember, about 8 minutes to go in the ball game, Sidney Colson came down the court just like this, went to the side, she's right-handed, and tried to make a left-handed behind-the-back pass that she had never attempted in 4 years in practice or in a ball game. And the ball came out of bounds right over there to me. I went with my finger there, and I said, it's time to come out. She sat down for 4 minutes, got her head back straight. Her senior roommate went in, Marianne Baker, got us organized. I moved Carter to the point. She came back in, knew how to make the play at the end of the game that helped us win that national championship game. I want to tell you, coaches, I've been very consistent with my coaching staff and my players over the course of the year. But I want to read you a little bit about the changes that we've had this year and see if this is similar to your situation. We went into a new conference in the SEC, not because of women's basketball, because of football, television, money, and egos. That's why we're basically in the SEC. And a lot of it was just egos. I had a new AD, a new associate AD who came from South Carolina. We ended up with SEC's hardest conference schedule that they gave to us as, a coming in party. Because we have an unbalanced schedule. You play everybody once, and then you play 3 teams twice. Well, I drew number 1, Kentucky, twice. Drew number 3, Vanderbilt, twice. And LSU, our travel partner, was ranked number 6. We were picked 5th going into the league. Then I had to play Tennessee on the road. I had to play Georgia on the road. I had to play South Carolina on the road. Then I also had to go to Arkansas, where I used to coach, on the road. Go play Vic at Mississippi State on the road. So we were 4-0 on the drama games. And let me tell you, folks, those are drama games. But learn to be able to do the little things. A&M strength of schedule. I believe in playing folks, not running away from folks. And that is what has given us 4 straight number 2 seeds. In the last 2 years, the number 3 seed. If you play folks, risk-reward games, it's going to come out in your favor at the end if you've got talent. I know everybody says they're young. Have you ever heard of a coach that says, I've got a veteran team? There's no such thing as a veteran team. You'll find something to pour mouth about, because here's the difference. I had 2 new coaches. I had Coach Schaefer with me for 15 years. I had Johnny Harris with me for 5 years. My video coordinator also went to Mississippi State. My former assistant coach, my former player, Aquanisha Franklin, went from Kansas to Mississippi State. So Coach Schaefer over there is going to be buying me dinner tonight. I do know that. New sports information person. New marketing person. I had 6 true freshmen, and they were good. 1 redshirt freshman, 6'7". She redshirted. She's the only freshman in the country that needs 3 redshirt years, but she's going to be damn good. I've just got to keep her with me that long, but she will be good. I had 2 new starters. Christy Bellick, here from New Orleans, that has sat on the bench for 3 years, never complained because she was playing it behind somebody that was a little bit better, who's playing over in Israel right now, Adora Lanu. I had a point guard, Adrian Pratcher, who played behind Sidney Colson for 2 years, then played behind Standich, the outstanding freshman we had last year. Again, sat on the bench for 3 years. Now all of a sudden they had to become starters. I started 2 new freshmen. We had 2 marriages on our staff. We had 1 divorce. We had 1 baby. I had 1 new grandkid a month ago. I'll show you pictures afterwards. We had 1 deaf in the family. Our player, our 2 guard, and our video coordinator this year, they lost their mom right in the middle of the season with cancer. Besides that, we had a hell of a year. Went 25-10, finished number 9 in the AP poll, was the SEC tournament champion, averaged 6,000 fans, and had an All-American in Kelsey Bone. So when you go through all the new stuff, and then you put in everything that happened to this team in the transition, we had a heck of a year. But with coaching comes drama. As you know, you young ladies that are former players, you know you like drama in your life. And there was a lot of drama that we learned to overcome. You learn how to deal with parents. You learn how to deal with freshmen. You tell them what it's going to be like when you sign them, but then they come in and think, oh, it's going to be great. I'm going to be the star. It doesn't all work that way. And then their parents are not the stars anymore that they were in high school. And you have to deal with that. You have to deal with the AAU coaches. You have to deal with the high school coaches. You have to, unfortunately, deal with the middle people now that are getting into our game. They're not helping our game at all either, because they're all the people that are calling, telling your player how much better they are, they would fit into this program better, and all of that type of stuff. So it's been a year of transition. This time I'm going to introduce my staff to you. Bob Starkey, you'll stand up, Bob. Bob was at LSU for 23, 24 years. He started on the men's side. He coached with Dale Brown. You read his blog. If you're not reading his blog, you need to read his blog, because between what he does with his blog and what Mike Neighbors does at University of Washington with his, they're the best things we have going. If you're not reading either one of those, find out how to get it from your neighbor. But Mike's got, I think, over about 15,000 coaches that are reading his stuff. And it's very good, because we're trying to learn the game and to grow the game. Bob coached with Sue Gunner, with Pokey Chapman. Then he was interim head coach at the Final Four here a few years ago. And then he coached with Van Chancellor. He coached with Joy at Central Florida for 1 year, and I was very lucky to be able to get somebody with the SEC experience when Vic took the head job at Mississippi State. Amy Wright, my assistant, played for me at Arkansas, former point guard from Indiana. She's made a couple stops along the way. Her last stop was at Arizona State. She handles my inbounds plays. And as a head coach, how much responsibility do you give out? Bob handles my defense. Kelly Bond, my other assistant coach, is home with her baby. She's supposed to be here on Sunday. She handles me. And that takes a lot of work. So I'm one of those head coaches that I give a lot of responsibility and I delegate out a lot, but I expect a lot. If you're going to sit back and do everything yourself, you're not going to have what you're trying to get from your team is people to play roles and people to have chemistry. Involve your staff. If you're going to stand out here and do it all yourself, it's not going to work. Johnny Harris, who's with Vic now, she did my inbounds plays for 3 years. Kelly helps me with offense. Vic and Bob, they do my defense. I make the starting lineup out. I handle the press conferences, and I take all the glory when it comes. And when we lose, I blame an assistant. But think about it. What are you doing as a head coach to get your assistants involved and to teach them the game? First, what are their communication skills like? Sometimes the best thing you can do is put one of these microphones on them. Instead of filming your practice, like Rutgers just finished doing, film your assistant coaches teaching. We start practice every day with either 8 or 10 minutes of what we call pre-practice. That's where I can sit back and I can watch all 3 of my assistants working with the point guards, the wings, and the post players. Bob's with the post, Kelly's with the wings, Amy's with the point guards. And I'll go over things that I want covered during those 8 to 10 minutes. Then we start practice. I'll bring them all together. We'll do a thought for the day. I'll generally ask one of my freshmen what the thought for the day on the board and try to get them thinking a little bit more than just basketball. Then we'll go into our transition drills. Then we'll go into the offensive things we need to work on, the inbounds plays, whether we're scrimmaging that day, and then we'll turn it over to the defense the last half of practice. But it's worked for me. Hopefully certain things that you're doing will work for you. Now, I'm going to call Bob out here first. Bring my team out here. Where's my team? Come on. All right. Looks like we've got Pistol Pete here, number 12. Okay. All right. Where are you from? From Miami. What are you here, on a visa?
I'm studying here in New Orleans.
Study here in New Orleans. All right. Coach Starkey is first going to go over. We've got handouts to pass out, but if you did not get your handout, there's the principles and guidelines of inbounds offense and inbounds defense. You can pull it up on our web page. We've got plenty of copies over there. Amy is going to pass out these little souvenir things we did to do our kids, like Kelsey Bone, who was an All-American for us this year, how to get these people advertised. We came up with the most original idea, and this is all Kelly Bond. Kelly is one of the most creative people that you've ever seen on these. I'm not high tech, but it's got a jump drive inside of a bone that you pull out and you plug in. We did the same thing with Daniel Adams 2 years ago with a charge card. When she made All-American, pulled it out, got that thing done, it helped her become All-American. You've got to be able to know how to sell your kids when it's their time to become that next level person. A couple of other things that we'll pass out are some of the my offensive board. Remember, I'm sort of like coach here at Kansas right here, Bonnie, who had a heck of a year. She might be the only person that runs more set plays than me. I'm not a motion coach. I'm a set coach. So if you want to learn about motion offense, don't learn it from me. You want to learn about set plays, how to isolate people, how to go into motion in case that first set does not work, come to my practice, because we run a whole lot of stuff. Now this is what goes on the back of my clipboard. This is the master thing that we go over the different offenses and everything. With 7 freshmen this year, I had to cut it about 2/3. I had to cut it in 2/3 because the comprehension skills were not there. So I had to keep it simple, stupid method to make sure that we could do it, particularly with both my 2 wings who were great players, but they just didn't have the basketball IQ sometimes to be able to create what I wanted. The other thing that I would do on a play, Amy, do you have pass out those game plans, the colored ones? This is what I will put on the back of a clipboard before the ball game. I'll have 7 keys that I will go over to motivate our team before the ball game. Our defensive coordinator will go over all the defensive stuff. How many of you let your assistant coach talk in the pregame talk? I do it in the pregame talk. I do it in the after-game talk. My assistant coach does the radio after the game. I do the radio before the ball game. You learn how to share the responsibilities. All right, Coach Starkey is going to show you some of the principles. You got the mic there? He's going to show you some of the principles, how we're going to stop you on defense on the inbounds plays. Remember, he's more of a pack line guy on defense. And Coach Schaefer, who was with me for 15 years, is more of a pressure you to the bathroom defensive guy. Okay, well, we would deny everything on the court, every pass, whatever. There's a lot of ways to win in basketball. And as a head coach, I've got to find not necessarily what's going to work with the talent that I have, but what's going to work with me as a coach. How can I make the adjustments that I need to make, either on defending inbounds plays, what press are we going to work on, what are we going to do, are we going to stop the high post pass, how are we going to defend it? Coach Starkey, with his experience, has done an excellent job, and he's going to give you a few of the basic rules that we do on stopping inbounds plays.
Howdy. That's a little better. I'm tickled to death to be a Texas A&M Aggie. It's an amazing place. A lot of tradition, a lot of special people. It's a great community. But after 25 years of being at LSU, I'm really looking forward to a crawfish boil tomorrow and some crawfish etouffee tonight. Just real quick, Coach talked about different ways to play. And I've never spoken at a clinic that I didn't start with a real quick story. When I was in junior high, my junior high coach was a Bob Knight guy. I mean, we had the candy stripe warm-up pants, just like Indiana. I was born in West Virginia. And we played man-to-man, and we ran motion offense just like Knight did. And then when I got out, I got an opportunity to work for my high school coach, Alan Osborne. And every year we would go and watch Indiana practice. And I thought it was the most amazing thing. They would start out with a 30-minute pre-practice. They had about 10 to 15 managers. The majority of them would be wrapped around the court with a towel over this shoulder, basketball here. They'd have a white T-shirt, say Indiana basketball, red shorts. They'd have 3 keeping stats, 2 filming. After their pre-practice, they'd run off the floor for a little bit to the locker room. Coach Knight would give them the emphasis of the day. They would run back out, and if you saw their practice plan, it was like clockwork. A lot of part method and the whole method, whether it was offense or defense. Practice was quick. It was moving. It was incredible. And I was a really young coach. And I thought at that time all coaches should have to come to Bloomington, Indiana, and study basketball from Bob Knight, and that's the way everybody should coach. Well, after about 5 years, we went out and watched Indiana practice like we did annually, and Knight decided not to practice Sunday, so on the way back to West Virginia, we stopped at Louisville to catch a Denny Crum practice on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. And when we got in there, they had one manager. He had blue jeans and this heavy metal sweatshirt on. Their players, half of them were 2 or 3 minutes late. They did about 10 minutes of layups where they went about half speed. And then they did a lot of scrimmaging. And 2 weeks later, they opened the season, and Louisville beat Indiana by 18 points. And it's probably the most valuable lesson I ever learned. There's a lot of different ways to coach. And I'm going to quickly take you through some of our defensive things on inbounds plays. But I want to give you a couple of concepts, and they're important concepts. I just got through spending 4 days with Don Meyer, who's a dear friend. He came in and spoke at the kinesiology department, took time to speak to our team, stayed at my house. And he would always tell you a couple of things. When you go to a clinic, write down everything, but know you can't use everything. I would hope when we're done that maybe 1 or 2 things you could take back and make your program better. Now, the first thing Coach Meyer would say is it's not what you teach, it's what you emphasize. It's not what you teach, it's what you emphasize. Well, if you want to be good in special situations, you've got to find a way to emphasize that. Through your practice, through your game. Do you break it down video? Do you show the video clips of your special situations to your players? Or are you just watching your half-court offense and your half-court defense? Do you emphasize? If it's important, you'll emphasize it. The second thing, if you want to grow in it, you have to measure it. If you want to grow, you have to measure it. Do you stat special situations? I did not bring it, but on the pass out, my email address is on there. If you will email me, I'll give you a stat sheet that I've used throughout my coaching career. It's called the Game Within the Game. And what you do is you stat offensive inbounds. It's a win or loss situation. If we inbound the ball and we score, we win. If we don't, we lose. Same thing on defense. Same thing coming out of a timeout. The team that scores first coming out of the timeout wins the timeout. You chart that. You share that with your team. It's a way of measuring it, and it's a way of emphasizing it. The other thing is have a special situations philosophy and share that with your team. Do they have it in their notebooks? Have they wrote it down? Did you give them a pass out? Do you go over it? Don't leave it for them to guess. In all my years of coaching, I've never worked with a coach that is more intense on the jump ball than Coach Blair. It's one possession. I better know how the other team's going to line up on the jump ball when we meet as a staff. He wants to know. I better have some clips of the other team in the jump ball. He wants to win the toss, and if we're not at an advantage, he wants to steal the toss. One possession. He emphasizes it, not just with his staff, with his team. So if special situations is important, find a way to emphasize it, have a philosophy, and then find a way to measure it. Just a couple of things that we do. Come on, guys. Give me an inbounder right here. Give me an offensive player right here, an offensive player right here. Give me a defensive player right. I tell you what, let's keep the jerseys. Give me the 2 pinks, one right here, and give me some defense on all. We don't have 10, but that's okay. First thing on inbounds defense, be ready. And that sounds really simple, but 9 out of 10 teams, their players don't get ready. The offense is walking around, they're thinking about a foul, they're thinking about what they're going to run on offense. Work with your team in practice, demand it in the games that they get where they're supposed to get in their stance, and get set. That's the first part. The rest of it is crap if you don't do the first part. Be ready. Be ready. And you can do this through different ways of practice. But be ready. It sounds simple, but it's important. The inbounder. And again, I'll talk to you about some of the things we do. I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm just going to show you how we do it and tell you why. Your way may be just as good if you emphasize it and teach it. We're going to take the man off the inbounder, and we're going to bring her right here in an open stance where she can see the ball. And, you know, we're Aggies, okay, so we got to use football terms. She's a linebacker, and she's picking up anybody that comes through the line. So if this player cuts, let's say she gets screened, she comes through here, we're just not waiting for her. We're going to come right up and body into her and pick her up till we can recover. A lot of people bring their defender back here, and they hope for a tip. We're going to come up and aggressively take them until we can recover. And again, that's something you got to work on. We had a really good point guard, Coach talked about earlier, Adrian Pratcher, who was excellent. We had a couple other people that we didn't do enough good a job teaching them to play this the way. But this person is really important. She's cleaning up crap that breaks down in the defense. Okay? Anybody, you can go back, please. Anybody on the block, either side, we want to become one with them. And by that, we mean we're getting right into them as close as we can. We're having contact, and we're narrowing the cuts. She's not cutting here. She's not cutting here. We'll let her go there. We'll let her go there. But we don't want to be loose and give her room to operate, whether it's she's coming here for a flash or she's coming up. We're going to come right here. We're going to crowd her, and we're only going to give her a couple of options. Back here, we're going to loosen a little bit. Chances are the majority of your offense on an inbounds play is going to come from somebody in this area. They're either going to make a cut or they're going to receive a screen. So we want to be loose so that we can anticipate that first cut, and then we want to get into them. What we've gotten really heavy on probably the last 5 or 6 years is we do a lot of scouting, and we try and pick up reads, whether it's how – I would say this, in inbounds offense. If you can run 4 or 5 plays from the same alignment, that's tough for a defense. I like coaching against the teams where if they line up this way, you know what play they're running. They line up another way, this is the play they're running. But we're going to loosen up right here. And that way we can take away the first cut. And we really want to be aggressive in that cut. I think you can get by with more fouling on inbounds defense than half-court defense. It's kind of like free throw block out. They kind of let the first 2 or 3 seconds go. Unless you just reach out and grab a player, you're not going to get a whistle, so we want to be aggressive in that. Okay? A couple of things that I've seen other teams do. I've got a good friend that's a very good defensive coach on the men's side that will tell this inbounds defender, you're playing this position right here. You're counting 1, 2, 3, and then if you don't hear anything, you're closing out hard and pressuring the basketball. Now, that could be a pretty good thing if you teach it. We don't do that. We got burned a couple of times, so we've gotten away from that. Know who the inbounds plays for. If a team has a special score, 75% of the plays are going to be for her, and you've got to adjust for that. I don't normally like to switch, but in an inbound situation, because it's quick, it happens, it's close to the rim, we make allotments for that. But we work on it. We just don't say switch. We're looking for certain people to switch, and when we switch, we want to stop the cut. For instance, if this person came up here and screened and we wanted to switch this, the first thing that has to happen is this player has to get underneath the screen so she don't get beat on the roll. And if this person comes off, this is not what we're interested in. Come on, back up. If she comes up and screens and we switch, we want to get in the path and we want to stop the play. Be aggressive on the switch. Last thing is when the ball comes in, make sure you get in your proper defensive positioning, whether you're pressuring the basketball, whether you're playing gaps, whether you're heavy on help, or whether you're not. When you're working on your inbounds defense, when the offense gets the ball in, don't stop. Let them finish the possession out. Make sure that you're guarding the entire clock. Make sure you're finishing with the block out. Coach?
Okay, we're going to go through a little bit of the offenses. I need about 3 that's got tennis shoes on to come out and help these people. Amy, come on up. We're going to show you some of the sets that we run. And don't worry, all you people in the SEC are on my schedule next year. I change every year. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm a late night guy. I go to bed with a legal pad, okay? And I'm watching those games on TV. And I'm putting those down, and I'm trying to find something. Now that you guys are computer tech, you can rewind something and see a good inbounds play and find out, will that work in your offensive scheme? But basically, most teams are going to run from the box set, or they're going to run 3 across and 1 there, or they're going to have 4 stack, or they're going to have 4 outside the arc. That's basically about the only sets that you can run. Which ones are you going to start with?
Offset.
All right, offset. All right, come on. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, the pinks on offense. Come on. Who's helping me from the audience? Somebody under the age of 30. Get out here. Come on. Come on, come on. I got one coming. Anybody else? Come on. All right, now I got two. I got one more coming here. Is that 10? I need one more. Here she comes.
Give me my five. Give me a five right here. Not right here. Right there. Yep. Give me another offense right here. Another offense right here. And one offensive player right here.
Hold on. We're going to have you be the post. You on flip-flops, you're not going to be my scorer. Okay? Stud, okay? Always identify where your stud is, where you're going to place her. We'll change it up, but you got to have a stud. What's your name?
Jay.
Are you a stud?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's what I wanted to hear. All right, here we go.
All right. What we're looking at really, and it's on the handout. By the way, if you did not get a handout, all these PDFs, what's on Coach Blair's clipboard, is on our website, www.aggieathletics.com. Go to women's basketball, and there's a link at the bottom that says Final Four presentation. So you will have access to that if you didn't get a copy. All right, so we want to play to our strengths, okay? So like he said, this kid's a stud right here. Most of the time in our sets, you find that would be Courtney Walker, okay? We really wanted to run her off of a lot of sets, give her an opportunity to shoot her best shot's a jump shot, all right? So with offset, okay, we can run it two different ways. We would bring the stack high, come up a little bit, and over one step. And this is to give our stud, our shooter, more room to operate on this side of the floor, okay, off a ball screen, all right? So normal offset, we're running our 3-guard or the top of the stack to that corner, okay? Go ahead, defense. We want him to think it's for this kid, okay? She's deception for us. Now here, there's two ways to set this screen. We can set side by side, right here. Now, whoa. Now what you have to be clear with, and we really had to work with Courtney this year because she's a freshman, set up your move. Set up your move. Don't just go, okay? You want to be able to set up because when you start doing that, this might be open, okay? So set up your move. She's going to come off hard, off this double, right into this nice little pocket right here. She might have a drive or a shot, okay? That's one way that we can run those screens. Now, we would run that if the defense was trailing, if they were not going to switch, okay? The other way is a stagger. So we got our first screener right there. Coming right here for me. Yep. Second screener right here. And again, setting that screen up, coming off hard, right off this stagger, looking for that. Now, if Kelsey Bone sets a good screen, guess who's going to be open? Kelsey Bone, okay? There's always another play inside the play. So that's offset. You want to run through it live for us, guys?
Ball fake to the corner. It's always,
side by side.
This person here has got to be deceptive. She's got a ball fake. She's got to look people off as we're getting into it. If she's just tunneled in, the defense will read it if they've done their scouting. So generally, 100 out of 100 plays, our point guard throws it in because she's the only person I trust. And that's why we were about third in the nation in assist turnover ratio. I trust point guards. That's another reason why I don't run a lot of motion. I run a lot of sets. I believe in my point guard. Believe in my point guard and my wife. Sometimes I don't know who's first, who's second, but my point guard you got to love, you got to hate, just like your wife at times. But this is a marriage, me and my point guard. All right? You ready there, Pistol Pete?
Good.
All right. She is a stud. All right. Now remember, everything that we run is basically for our 2-guard, but we can change it up if we've got a 3-player because for 5 years you saw Takia Starks run this position for us. It's our leading scorer all time at A&M. Then the last 2 years you saw Sydney Carter or Tyra White run this play. And now this year we got a freshman, but I've got a freshman here too. And then I had a Bone and a senior right here. So a lot of times, what are you setting up? Well, the people are going to scout you. They say, she's coming off, she's coming off. Now we'll do the variations of it.
All right. Staying in the same set. Again, Coach Starkey even mentioned it's tough to scout when you're in the same set. You might not know what they're going to do. So let's say we feel like the person guarding the 3 is a weak defender. Okay, this is called offset loop. It's pretty basic. It's easy for the kids to remember because they make a loop. So with our 75 inbounds plays, we try and make it so they can remember. So on the break, 3's got to do a good job of setting this cut up again. Okay, normally she would just break there, go hard. You're going to set the cut up hard, dig in, and you're making a loop side by side with these 2 posts. Because, again, if the defense is trailing, it's almost a brush screen, okay? She's going to come hard off that loop, go all the way out. You might have this pass underneath the basket, okay? If you don't get it, get out of town. Now from here, it's the same thing. You're turning and setting this screen, 2 guards setting it up. Okay, now there's all this area to work with. She can catch for the shot, catch for the drive. Again, if our posts set, especially the bottom post, if our posts set a good screen, they can slip to the rim.
And if that doesn't happen, the 4-player jumps back out here. She's a release girl. The 5 is block to block coming down Main Street right here. If we throw it all the way out, we're looking for a quick duck in to the 5, and the point guard gets the hell out of Dodge, out of the way to get this man out. All right, now what are you going to do when you play us? Everybody got smart on our simple offset. All right, go ahead, run regular offset. Go, go. Here she comes. They switch off, and she goes this way. She picks her up. She stays at home. This is why we run loop a lot of times, and we'll see how you're going to guard us. Now you come down. She's going to switch off. You're going to stay at home. You set the screen on the inbounds player. Go in, set the screen. Now she comes off. You run that little counter action right there. But that takes scouting. You set it up. Now we're going to run double loop right quick. Now we're going to go ahead and move our stud and switch our 3. The stud is going to come. She's going to come over here, run through here, lollygag around. Come on, stud. And she's going to come. You're going to come off that screen all the way back in. Then you're coming right back off on the double screen. If you watched our game, it's either Tennessee or Kentucky. We burned them at the end because we hadn't used it in about 5 games. We ran the double loop. Just setting the play up, depending on how they're going to guard, it's just a double loop. We can do it off sidelines or on inbounds. All right, show them the 2-4 screen.
Okay, same set. Same set. Okay, now post players, if they see this set, the defense may be thinking, all right, I don't have to do anything but stay with my man. Okay, so on the break, we're still running you to the corner. Okay, 4-player. Okay, 4-player is turning to set the screen. As that happens, you're still setting up your cut. You're setting this back screen right here for our 4. Coming off hard, looking for that. 5-player, now you're setting a screen to screener. Still hitting that shooting pocket right there.
All right, let's run it real quick. Here we go. It's a 2-4. Remember, you got to set it up. It's got to look like everything else. You save it. You run it 1 time in the ball game. Only run it once. Go. Fake backside, in for the shooting pocket there. Now we're going to put one in. We run the same zipper play that we got from Bill Self's men's team. A lot of people run the zipper off the half court. Now we're going to run the zipper play off of the inbounds play. On the zipper here, you're going to take off, you're going to loop, spread out 5 and 4. This girl here, we've noticed on film, she's got her head down right here, and she isn't going to switch. Now we're going to send you right through the 5-4. Close the zipper up, bam, we got something. We got that shot there. So again, that's a one-time play during the ball game. You just add the zipper into it. All right, next inbounds.
Okay, now we'll go to a simple stack. So 5, 4, 2, 3 is how we'll set it up. So you guys just start a little bit lower. Give me my 5, 4, 2, 3, okay? All it is a simple single screen, and we're clearing out ball side for our shooter. So on the break, 5 sprinting to the block, okay? 3, sprinting opposite wing, okay? And it's a simple single screen for our 2 coming off hard. So if they switch right here, we got a 4 on a 2.
All right, now, we put this in at the Vegas tournament when we played Notre Dame. I had a 4-player that was a great mid-range shooter. So all of a sudden now I got the 5-4. I moved her over one step, okay? Moved her over one step. This player here broke to that corner here. That player there broke to there. She steps in. All of a sudden, we screen here. You roll the basket. We got our 4-player, this shot right here. It is so simple. Christy Bellick would score 1 time a game just off that set right there. Simple stack. Instead of your 2-3 who they're looking for, we would offset it just a little. We would screen in. And at that 5-player, what's his choice? Are we going to let a kid that hadn't started to her senior year had that shot, or are we going to let an All-American come right down here? So he would stay at home. We would pick her off right here. We'd have that little mid-range shot. Now, the last thing, a lot of you disagree. I love to play, y'all, if you're going to put somebody on the ball just like this. That means you're not going to cover the backside. You might take away some of this stuff right here. But the backside on inbounds offense is the most important thing you can do if you got somebody that can screen, pick the picker, or whatever. I lost a game this year with 2 seconds on the ball game, and all of a sudden, the ball, I think we were playing Kentucky. Yeah, we were playing Kentucky at my place. And all of a sudden, we said, whatever, there's 2 seconds to do, and I said, do not guard the inbounder. And here was Stallworth right here at 6'2". What does Kelsey Bone do? She comes over, gets right in her way. Now, get out there, shooter. Hurry. She couldn't get open. She fakes back that way. Now she comes back. What does Kelsey Bone do? She walks over here. The other girl walks over here. And all of a sudden, the ball is passed in. Throw it. Just throw it right over here. She got the ball passed underneath to a girl wide open. We lose the ball game. And that was my All-American not paying attention and coming over and guarding the basketball with 2 seconds on the shot clock. 2 seconds on the shot clock. What's the most important thing? Getting the rebound. So you don't want your rebounder here, then you definitely don't want her going this way. We lost the ball game before that. 5 years earlier, when they didn't have Griner at Baylor, we lost at home once again on an inbounds play on a simple pick-the-picker that I had 2 senior starters, did not communicate. We lose the game on an inbounds play. Now, let me show you Kentucky's inbounds play. No, Louisville's inbounds play. All right. Give me the stud. Jude Schimmel. Give me the 5-player right over here. Doesn't matter. Just set up over there. If you remember this play, hadn't called it in a long time. They got it from when Robert Morris beat Kentucky on the men's side. Simple play. You got to save it. You got to save it. And all you're writing down these notes and you're going to run it the first damn game next year. You save this damn play. You don't write it down. You save it because you're going to look smarter at the first of the – you're going to run back first practice of the year. We're going to run this. You don't run it. You save it for 1 time a year or 2. All right. Kick out. Step back. You're coming hard because I've set this play up because we're going right off her screen and we're going to shoot from the corner. All right, you're chasing her. Come on, come on. Get over there. Throw the ball in over there. Get on top of him. She's coming around here. Come on, Chase. Set that screen. Roll right back in. There's the basket. They scored on Robert Morris's inbounds play that Kentucky's men did not defend either. Into the game situation, when they were struggling, Shoni Schimmel had already fouled out. They ran that play. That's coaching. Are you worth 6 points a ball game? or you were. Now I'm going to show you one that's not ours. This is Boston Celtics. Hurry, get underneath there. Give me Paul Pierce right here. Come on, stud. All right, give me a 5 player right here. Give me the 4 player there, 3 player here. We're going to go screen down on the backside. You're going to be in the middle. Celtics ran this for Pierce. He missed the shot, chance to win the game, but the play was wide open. All of a sudden, he comes in to set this screen hard. Here comes Garnett running right back like they're going to go down Main Street. He comes in, sets a back screen. Here comes Pierce rolling right back off of me. Hello, get over there, stud. Simple. It was wide open. Pierce missed the jump shot. Let's see if we can do it. Remember, we're going to go in, brush screen, like she's going down, getting them again, looking for that shot. It's just disguising what you want right there. All right. Everybody over 50 will remember this play. Do you remember the barking dog play? It's on ESPN about 20 years ago. All right, come here, stud. You get right down here, stay right there. Give me a 3-guard set. It doesn't matter where you are right here. And all of a sudden, now this was a gimmick. I think he was at Eastern New Mexico. Dexter Irwin, that coached my kid that I signed at Arkansas, put this play in. Now, don't try this again. It worked 20 years ago. But if you remember, all of a sudden they're just lollygagging around into the game situation. Now get down on your knees and start barking like a dog. Bark, bark, bark. Give me a back screen over there. Bark, back screen. Pass that ball in over there. It worked. All of a sudden, this kid we watched on TV was sitting over there just got up and down, and like everybody, this person over here knew they'd already clued the officials in. They're just standing there watching, then all of a sudden, a little back screen, had the play, barking dog play. Please don't put that one in. But it helped them win a ball game. All right, we're going to show you real quick, 31, real quick. Hurry. 31, give me my 2 in the middle.
5 on that side, 4 on that side.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is our 31 series, so we have a variety of things that we do out of 31. The first one, if you have defenders that have their back to the ball, so if they're exactly as they are, and you have a pretty athletic kid or a tall kid that's in the middle, these two need to communicate and make sure they're reading that. That's why we have a point guard in. Very simple. If this kid does not see the ball, you can just throw this lob play, okay? And all that is communication. All that is communication. So this is our normal 31 set. We're going to have our 5 player. She's our low block player setting a single screen, coming off hard for our 2. Okay? Then it's screen the screener action. You can go 5-4 or 4-5. Our thing is to pick on the weakest defender. So who's the weakest defender? Is it your 4 or is it your 5? So that's who we're going to pick on. All right? So let's say our 4 is a weak defender. So we're going to set a solid screen. They're going to come across, screen the screener action. Or let's say our 5's a weak defender. Back to where you were, guys. Okay, we're going to have our 4 set this screen and look for the backside. And all that is scouting. All that is scouting.
All right, jump into a 2-3 zone real quick, defense. 2-3 zone. Give me the 4 player right here. Give me the 5 player over here. Give me the 2 player there. Give me the 3 down there. You're the 4. Offense. 2-3 zone defense. This is a play we call Kansas. Sorry, Bonnie, but we call it Kansas, okay? Another Bill Self play. It works. We see a lot of zone defense, particularly when you got a big mama inside. So they're going to give my freshman the jump shot before they're going to give Kelsey Bone the inside. So we see a lot of zone defense. What we're going to do, you on defense or offense? All right, defense is zone. And what we're going to do is break the 2 and the 3 as hard as we can. Set that screen right here on her. Set a bad screen like my players do. Okay, set that screen, go through. You're going through, guard her. Come on, 3. Get through. The 5 player is going in, setting the screen, and then she's hitting this person right in here in the middle and asking for the ball down low. As soon as this happens, you're my offensive player? Defense. This player right here, you go through, she's going to wait 1001, and then she's going to walk right down here, and she's going to have this shot. It will be open against the zone. You got to sell it on the inbounds. You got to get her out of dodge here and make her go out and guard it. Let's run it. Let's go. Kansas. Hold it. Everybody ready? Out. Hold it. Hold up. My 5 and the 4. Remember, you're giving her a half screen. Let her through. Then you've going in and head hunting right there, and you're getting down here low. And we're going to run you right in. You wait till everything happens, decoy, and then come right down. You'll have the shot. All right, ready, go. Come on. Just a simple zone shot like that. Give me my 5-4 out here. 2-3 on the top. We've got this out of the 45 series. We'll run against a man or a zone when you got a 4-player that can stretch it. When we had Marinikia Tunrajay played the 4 her first year, this was a great play that we ran for her. All of a sudden, the 5 is coming in, giving me that cross screen. The 4 is coming right over here. If she comes out, we're slipping, and you're going right back down the middle right there. But you're going to have that 3-point shot just on a simple cross screen. Sidelines play. I opened up the season at Louisville. Coaches, 45 to 45, 12,000 people. We're playing at Louisville. That's great scheduling. I open up at Louisville, number 8, playing Penn State at home, number 9, playing Connecticut at home, number 2. That's my first 3 games. Guess who was 0-3? I was. Should have won the first 2. All right, point guard, get down the court there. I'm right here as a coach. I'm calling timeout. Go guard her. Whoever's guarding the point guard. Get over there. When I point to there, I want that ball on that hash. All right? Dribble down here and get it down here and call timeout. Stop. That's exactly where my point guard stopped. Okay? My point guard stopped there. And all of a sudden the timeout, so when I want to run a sideline play, my spacing is all screwed up. So now instead of here, where I can run my box play, where I can bring the 2 off of Kelsey Bone, where I might be able to go straight in on a one-on-one with Bone, or I'm going to bring that 4-1 screen right here to the basketball, get it set up. Give me the 5-player on the box, 2 over there in the corner. Give me my 4-player right here. And give me my 1 right here. Well, throw it in 3. 3's throwing it in. 3-player throws in all sideline plays. All right. The 2 is coming as hard as she can off of there. We're taking all help away. I got an All-American down there. I'm looking to go in if it's wide open. If they front it, I'm going to throw it over. The 4 is going to screen for the 1 who's coming off. Here she comes. She's coming off. The only problem is I got a freshman throwing in, Courtney Walker. Here comes the point guard. Come on. She throws a 25-foot bounce pass to here. Jude Schimmel backs off. Goes with the play, runs right into it, catches the ball, walks in, shoots a layup. We lose 47-45. What happened? I did a poor job of teaching my point guard to bring the damn ball over to the hash. Okay? Got to have it on the hash. Then you can set up different plays on the thing. Now this time we're going to run it and we're going to get it to the isolation there, the old flip-flop, okay? You come over, you change it up. You're going to be the stud. Flip-flop, you're on defense. I recognize the talent. He's got shoes. All right, get over there. You're going to come off of it. Hold on. You're going to pass it straight in. Now, you come off, go. Ball fake, throw it in. Hold it. What's the worst thing you did? There is no such thing as a chest pass, inbounds or from the sidelines. No such thing. You're going up the stairs. That's what we do at our place. The ball's above your head, always. Zone defense, zone offense. There's no chest pass. Get the ball above your head. All right, here we go. You're the stud. You're supposed to know better. Throw it in. Simple. If not, we got the ball in there, which we thought that's where we were going to have to go. We have a set play called. You've got to get that set play in. All right, the other sideline play, we've been running. They hadn't ever stopped it. Give me the 5, 4, 2, 1. 3's right over there on the hash. Spin out 5, 4. Give me a screen right here. You've gone to the corner. You're coming right off the double screen here to get the ball. If this girl passes back out, you're going all the way on the other side. The 4 player who set the screen, she comes right back. Option 1, option 2, option 3. All right, run it. All right, there you got your set. Nobody ever stops it because what do you do as coaches? You don't guard sideline plays. Think about it. You just let people have the ball in. Everybody's backed into the man. We got it. Why don't we guard sideline plays like we guard inbounds plays? How about at halftime? The ball's over here at halftime. We're right here. And you're a pressure man-to-man team. Why are we just going to let them throw the ball in? That happens too much. You've just given your great halftime speech. You're talking about pressure defense. Coaches already, you look up, and there we are sitting back there 20 feet, and we're going to allow her to get the ball, go down, and we're going to run play 1. Make it hard. Put the ball in somebody else's hands. All right, I'm going to show you one press breaker here. Let's go. Inbounds play with a 1. 1 right here. Give me the, no, on that side over there. Give me the 3 over there on the baseline. Give me the 2. 3, 2 player right here, right on the baseline. Give me the 4 player right here. Give me the 5 player right here. Where's Ujung Lee? I saw you a while ago. Where's my All-American? Where is she? Stand up, Ujung. Walk out here. Come here. Y'all don't even know who that is. That is a Kodak All-American in 1985 that took her team to the Final Four at Northeast Louisiana, upset us at Louisiana Tech, or we would have got 5 Final Fours in a row. But this was the point guard from South Korea that just got speaking. She was dynamite. Dynamite. But this was the play we stole from Northeast. I know they're called Louisiana Monroe now, but I still call it Northeast. If I steal a play from you, I will name it after you. Okay? Now what we do here, you can run the baseline. My best free throw shooter is right here. The point guard, my decision maker. So we're going to holler 4. 4 means the 4 player. 4 also means the 2 player. If I call 5, it's going to be 5 is the first option, 3 is the second option. You're going to line up right here. She's on the ball. We're going to streak the 5. We're going to streak the 3 as hard as you can go. We're going to bring the 4 to the free throw line. Go. We're going to bring the 2 to the hash. You're gone. Stop right there. Here's your set. We're going to turn her right back, make the pass in, come here and take the handoff, give the ball to the point guard. Your troubles are over. All my people that are in here that have played me for the last 18 years, you hadn't stopped it one time yet. Not one time on an end-of-game situation. Now, I'll change up the numbers, so don't start walking it down. I'll go by colors, or I'll go birthdays, or I'll do something else on you. But in 18 years, it hadn't stopped. If she cannot get it, you're breaking right back up. She gets the ball, the handoff's right back to her. The point guard's got the ball, we've got it in. Now, line up here at three-quarter court. Free throw line. Same play. 5-3. All right, 5-3. Bust it deep. Come back in on this cut right here. We're running the baseline. Because a lot of times they will have this girl back in the float position. We're going to run the baseline. Come on in, 5. You're gone. Throw the ball in, get the ball back, stop all that pressure. All right, the last one, inbounds play. Give me a box inbounds. 2-player, 4-player, 5-player. I'm sorry, 3-player, 2-player there. Have you ever thought about running an inbounds play at the end of the game situation? Our basket's that way. We're going to run an inbounds play right now to get the ball. An inbounds play to be able to handle pressure. What we're doing here is she's going to walk down, do this. Come on. You're streaking. You're winding up. First, you're standing too close. Back up. You always want the small ones there because she's going to be on the end of the ball. And all of a sudden, she's done that. Now, give me the zipper. I'm coming through the zipper. Come on, stud. Right through the zipper. Get her the ball right over there. If it's not open, my 4-player turns right back, gets the ball right here, hands the ball back to the throw-in girl. An inbounds play at the end of the game situation. You don't run it consistently because they'll start switching out. Remember, why is your 5-player back there and your 4 here? Your 5-player can't shoot free throws. Your 4-player can. So you're trying to put your free throw people in the right situation. All right, over here, Dallas Mavericks, back when they were real good. All right, give me Jason Kidd on that free throw line extended. Jason Terry, right over there. 2-guard over there. Give me Dirk right there on that there. Give me Jason Kidd all the way down there. Give me the 4-player all the way over there. In the game situation. Back up. You're up by 2 points. What are you going to do? That's our basket. Now, I've got my 2 best players right here. I've got Sean Marion throwing in the ball. I got my point guard right there. And I'm up by 2. So here's what to do. Now, you 2 defensive players come back. What are you going to do? We're just going to throw the ball to Jason Kidd. So you can't do that. You got to go guard him. So now what have I done? I've gotten rid of Betty and Sue and the people that can't play. I've got my best players right here. So now I've got a 3-on-3 game, getting rid of clutter. So we're going to send Jason Terry right off that screen. You're going to hedge for a minute. The best shooter in America, almost. Now we're going to move Dirk straight to the basket. Looking for that slip. If she helps at all, we're throwing straight to Dirk, and you're going to get the 2-point play. All right, let's run it. Go. Over the head pass. Now, we're going to hit Jason Terry first, and then Jason Terry is going to hit Dirk. All right, go. You've cleared out everything. Now, bring it back. All right, we're going to see how smart you are. We're going to run a high-low offense. 1, Jason Kidd. 4 players going to be high. Dirk, that's going to be you. 5 player be in the hole. Get the ball. Come on up a little bit. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, you back. You go set the screen on his girl. Go set the screen. Come on, Jason Kidd. Make that pass. Now back up. Now back up like Baylor does of Odyssey Sims. Keep the ball down there for 15 seconds. Either a tie ball game or not, you keep the ball for 15 seconds, and then you come into the high-low game. All right? Give me the high-low game right here. Dirk right here. Give me the other post player. Come on down here. Hurry. Get on that side. You're right-handed. 3 player over in the corner. You got a 2-point lead. Now you've taken time off the clock. Are you going to foul us or what? We've had 35 seconds. You're going to get a shot. What we're trying to do is go down to the end to make sure we're shooting in the last 5 or 6 seconds. We got a 2-point lead. I'm going to put the ball in the hands of my best ball handler. Come on. We're going to come right off of him. And if Jason Kidd can get to the hole he's going, if she steps and hedges here at all, what are we going to do? We're going to throw it right back to Dirk, and it's in his hands. You want your best 2 ball players to handle the ball in that situation. It's not a democracy. In coaching, it's a dictatorship. You get rid of those players that cannot handle the ball in that situation. All right? Put the ball in the hands of the point guard. Put your best player up here at the high post. Run a little high ball action and let them decide who's going to win the game at the end. Now, I've given you a lot of stuff. Any of you coaches, last summer we did a coaching academy in August because we could do it because our team was getting ready to go to Italy. And it was for a day and a half. We had a lot of fun with it. I will not do a coaching academy unless I can have my team on the floor. And so this time, if we do one, it'll be in October when we can start practicing with our team. But if some of y'all would like to come down and see our practices, see a lot of Coach Starkey's defensive drills, and Amy and Kelly, everything they're doing, we'd be glad to have you. It's about sharing and growing the game. And as women's coaches, we need to get together more often with each other. They do it all the time in the men's game. In the women's game, we do not do it. Getting 8 to 10 people for a weekend sitting down there in X's and O and everybody talking about something that they do with their team. The men's game, they do it all the time. In the women's game, we're afraid to share with each other. Share, grow the game, learn the game. Whether you bring a couple of men's coaches in with you, you bring a couple of high school coaches in with you. But get together on a weekend in September or August, grow the game. Have you a lot of beer in the refrigerator, film, and grow the game and talk the game, and we're all going to be better. But I appreciate you letting our staff come. I'm so proud of Coach Starkey and Amy Wright, what they've done. Kelly will be here tomorrow. She's got mama duties right now. But I appreciate it. And if some of you are still looking for a ball game, we've got one opening at home, of course. But I appreciate everything. I'll see you on Bourbon Street tonight. If you got something that you enjoyed the game tonight, then buy me a beer somewhere. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.